The following program is intended for mature audiences.
A democratic republic of sports. The Sportsocracy with ESPN Asheville hosts Tank Spencer and Jeremy Greene.
We are in the Wicked Weed studio, wickedweedbrewing.com. Drink different. I'm Tank Spencer, and he's Jeremy Greene, and we are continuing our coverage here of the best and worst case scenarios for every team in the AFC East. It's the one moment that we all knew was coming, and I'm glad that we have, another 30 minutes before we have to say goodbye.
J-E-T-S, Jets.
It's the New York Jets. They made the change. Adam Gase is out of town. You now got Rob Salah calling the shots up there.
Just say it again.
Adam Gase is out of town, and Rob Salah is now all gas, no brakes.
Hey, ironic you said that. Best case scenario for my New York Jets. All gas, catch some breaks.
Yep. Zach Wilson coming in to be the starting quarterback of this team. There's always a risk when you're starting a rookie. However, they have put weapons around him that I believe he is set up for greater success than Sam Darnold ever was.
100%. With Morgan Moses on the right side, Mekhi Becton on the left side, the line's going to be markedly better. Yep. By the way, just watch me be right about what I'm getting ready to say. George Fant's going to play more tight end than people think.
Okay.
Did that in Seattle. Why? Because the line wasn't particularly good. Because George Fant was a tight end in college. What does that tell you? It means they're going to be able to run the ball pretty damn well. Because you can do that, and it doesn't tip the hand that this is actually a run. Because you have a lot of dudes.
Yeah, they do have a lot of dudes, and that's going to be the question. If this running back by committee can take them to the promised land. Here's
the thing. People are over-evaluating Michael Carter as a rookie. I loved him coming out. I still love him. It's not a slight at him. It's gotten dumb. Because this is going to be a committee. It's going to be a lot of Tevin Coleman, Ty Johnson, Michael Carter, LaMichael Pirod. I'm not in love with anything running back-wise on this team. Very similarly to what I have said about San Francisco over the years.
Right.
I think Michael Carter is the Raheem Mostert. But you got a lot of other dudes.
Too many cooks in the kitchen, basically.
Yes.
To have one star when it comes to fantasy football, at least. I believe in Corey Davis. The Elijah Moore hype coming out of camp is ridiculous. And I'm not saying that as I don't believe it. I'm saying I don't know that there's been a wide receiver that we've heard so much hype about.
Good. Let the hate flow through you.
Denzel Mims has, he showed flashes last year. And Jamison Crowder is a steady wide receiver. He catches a lot of flack, and people just, Jamison Crowder. He's a dude. I think he's more than a dude. I think he's been more than a dude, and he's just one of those guys that gets overlooked because he's not a league leader in flashy plays or anything like that. I've always believed in Jamison Crowder, and I think that this group of wide receivers has a chance to do something special for Zach Wilson and to set him up for success in his rookie year. Could you see a path where Zach Wilson is the rookie of the year in the NFL? No.
Is there a path? Yes, it's a 2% chance. I think Zach Wilson's going to be fine. I don't think he's going to be asked to do what like a Trevor Lawrence will be asked to do. What a Justin Fields will be asked to do if he hits the field in Chicago. Hell, even to a point what a Mac Jones will be asked to do. And it's not that he's not ready. Somebody in the comments said earlier that the little Mormon boy is going to get eaten up in New York. No, he's not. Here's the thing. And this is going to sound strange, but I want you to really think about what I'm going to say. He's had a target on his back pretty much his entire life because his family is loaded. He's also got a smoking hot mom. You laugh. I want you to think about what I'm going to say.
Okay.
Think about growing up with a mom that looks like that and talks like that. You better be a little thick-skinned or you're going to be in fights constantly. He's used to it. Think about all the things his mom said just since he got drafted. He hadn't responded to any of it. He did apparently offer to pay her to deactivate her Instagram account, which that makes me a little. I don't like that at all. It gives me hives and like, Mom,
because you need it.
Stay off Instagram. His mother scares me more than anything about him.
Why? What is
because she never stops talking.
Well, I mean that's fine, but like, what is she saying? Is she saying?
Oh, she's a big Trump supporter. You're in New York. You put 2 and 2 together. There could be some.
It's a political thing.
Not really. It's a. She becomes the narrative a lot.
Right.
And that's my biggest reservation. The talent, I love the talent on Zach Wilson. He can vouch for this. This is not he wound up with the Jets. He was clearly my 2 from long ago. Arm talent's fantastic. He's a better runner than you think he is. Stat came out yesterday. Most red zone touchdowns, rushing touchdowns by quarterbacks last year. Malik Willis was 1. Who was 3? I've already forgotten.
Desmond Ridder.
Desmond Ridder from Cincinnati. Zach Wilson was 2. He had 10. 10 red zone rushing touchdowns last year. I really like this kid. I really like this defense. Michael Whiteside said, I want to see Zach Wilson's mom riding a bald eagle in her birthday suit waving a Trump flag.
That's not on her Instagram. That's only on her OnlyFans account.
I ain't again it. I like and
if Zach Wilson's mom had an OnlyFans, how fast would you be a subscriber? It's definitely a subscription that you would be signing up for. Good Lord. I like the defense. I think your defense.
The secondary scares me. That's the thing that makes me the most nervous.
Is it just because they're unproven? Is it because they're young, or is it an actual
they're
talent
scheme fits.
thing?
They're scheme fits. Look, I really like Bryce Hall. I really like Bless Austin. I like Javelin Guidry as an undrafted free agent. By the way, Joe Douglas, I love you. We look like we could be brothers. I have better hair than you. I'll give you some of it. I'll give you a wig if that's what you want. I have to express my undying love for Joe Douglas anytime we do these things. The secondary does make me a little nervous because the Salah defense, it's really important you have a lot of players. I'm just not sure how deep they go. I don't know what to believe with the rookies. There's a lot of rookies. In Joe, I trust. I trust in Joe. I trust in Rob Salah. I think it's going to be fine.
What about the C.J. Mosley thing? There's been a lot of talk about it, whether he's going to actually be on this team.
It's hard to get a read on. And I talk to a lot of Jets people. I talk to a lot of beat writers. I get a lot of different stories. Salah out loud is basically saying he wants C.J. Mosley to be the center part of the defense.
Okay.
However, he's never played in a 4-3, at least not in his pro career. And he hadn't played in 2 years. He played 1 game in 2 years. There's a lot of hiccups. I hope he's on the team. The Jets have the money to make it happen. I would like to see him out there. This defense was not bad with C.J. Mosley. Granted, it was half of 2 different games that we got to see, but the defense was not bad. And I believe in Rob Salah a hell of a lot more than I believe in Greg Williams. So I think the defense will be fine. I'm hoping the addition of Carl Lawson gives a little pass rush. This is a team that's needed a pass rusher for years. But you can see the San Francisco-ification of the Jets. You got all of these pieces now. At edge, just think about how many different guys they've added this year. You go all the way, so you add Vinny Curry. And it's outside of Carl Lawson. Carl Lawson's a starter. You add Vinny Curry. You had Bryce Huff, who was an undrafted free agent last year. Hamilcar Rashid, that was a guy that I, honest to God, thought was, we talked about him multiple times. You got him as an undrafted free agent. You're just seeing what they're doing. We're going to have a lot of pieces. We're going to throw a lot of guys at you. It's going to be a lot of different guys, a lot of different dudes. We're going to play good defense. I would say best case.
And versatile defense as well.
That's the thing. It's going to be very versatile.
Are they still talking about putting Hamza Nasruddin and some of those guys playing linebacker?
Yeah, Hamza Nasruddin and Jamian Sherwood are both going to play linebacker.
Yeah.
Which is, that's interesting. You got 2 one's a very large safety, one's a slightly undersized safety, and you're going to play him a linebacker. That's new. I haven't seen much of that.
Speed kills.
Hamza Nasruddin is allegedly going to be the starter.
Yeah, speed kills in the NFL, and your defenses have to keep up. Rob Salah is an innovator on the defensive side of the football, and he understands what it's going to take to try to keep up in this league.
Yep.
Now, whether he's got the dudes for it, he's going to find out.
Yeah, I mean,
But
I don't
doubt the mental game here.
No, this is not going to be an immediate turnaround.
No.
But I believe much more in Rob Salah. I always said the players were better than people thought.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe in Salah. I believe in Joe Douglas. Mm-hmm. And here's the thing. Next year, I think you have the third most cap space in the league. You have 2 1s. You have 2 2s. You have 2, I want to say it's 2 4s, and like 3 5s. Or it's something absurd. They have more draft capital than any team in the league going in next year. So, I mean, it's not going to be an immediate turnaround, but I'm telling you, I see the positive turn here. The adults are in the room, and they're running the ship.
Best case scenario for the New York Jets in 2021 is 7 wins?
I'd say, I think it's more than that.
You think it's more?
They could beat Carolina. They could beat New England, I think, at least once. They could beat Denver. They could beat Atlanta. They could beat Cincinnati. They will beat Houston. They will beat Philadelphia. They could beat New Orleans. They will beat Jacksonville. It's 9. They could be 9-8. That's best case scenario.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I don't know about that whole Carolina thing. Opening up against Carolina on the road to open up the season is...
Look, I have to say this because we're in a Carolina market.
Yeah.
You Panther fans need to calm the fuck down. I liked the Darnold thing. I like a lot of things you're doing.
Uh-huh.
Stop acting like you're better than you are. Panthers fans make it seem like
they're better than the Jets.
It's a hell of a lot closer than you think it is. If you don't believe me, look at every power ranking in the world that has you 24 or lower.
Yeah.
I mean, do I think that's a little disingenuous? Yes, but you're way closer to the Jets than you think you are. Stop acting like this is going to be some 38-3. You do understand I've watched every pass that motherfucker's thrown in his life. I've seen every pass he's thrown in his NFL career. Mm-hmm. I'm telling you this out of love. I kept saying, Carolina fans, don't jump out of line. I kept saying that for a reason. You know, you got the quarterback. I think he's going to develop. You've got pieces. You got Brady. You got Rule. Young guys on defense. Stop acting like you're an 11-win team. You're not. You are not. You are not.
No, you're not.
Stop acting like you are. It is not out of the realm of possibility that you lose to the Jets. It's not. We will be at this game. If I thought we were going to get shellacked, do you think I would show up?
Yes.
No.
I do.
No, I wouldn't. Why do you think I'm not flying to London? Because, yeah, I see a path that Kyle Pitts eats our fucking lunchbox. Plus, I don't want to get a passport. It seems like
you
a
would
lot
really
of
do. You would fly to London to see your team play?
I considered going to the first one.
Really?
When we played Miami a few years ago, I considered going to that. I just decided I wanted to too late and couldn't get a passport.
I mean, that would be a hell of a bucket list thing. I can't fault you for that. But no, I don't. I think you're 0-1 starting out the season. I really do.
And that's fine. That's fine. You know what? The closer we get to this, and the more I start to feel like the big dick in the locker room because this is the best coach we've had in my lifetime. Yep. This is the best GM we've had in my lifetime.
Okay.
The disrespect, I can just tell you this from a series of guys that report on this team, it ain't lost on them. Mm-hmm. Just remember I said that. And I could see a fun path of me having some fun with Panthers fans to, do something good in the community. I see a path to this.
There are a whole lot of prognosticators and talking heads like us that do not believe that the New York Jets are going to be much better than they were last year.
And those people are wrong.
I think that is totally misguided. I get that you got a rookie quarterback and you can't,
you're going to have growing pains with a rookie quarterback.
Basket. Sure.
He's also not going to be asked to do a lot. There's a reason you have 4 running backs. There's a reason you have more weapons than the Jets have had in the 30 years I've pulled for them. There's a reason for that. They watched what they just did to Sam Darnold. It's not lost on Joe Douglas. The motherfucker has said it to me. Not directly to me, but I was on a conference call and it was said, I know what I did. I didn't give him the weapons I needed. I'm not going to fuck up and do that again. Mm-hmm. So
But with the weapons they've gone out and gotten wide receivers, I think they're going to throw the ball a lot.
Define a lot.
55% of the time.
Okay, let me ask this in a different way because I'm not doing math live on.
They will throw more than they run the ball.
Everybody
by a
throws it more than they run,
considerable
except
margin.
the Baltimore Ravens. How many attempts you see from the Jets next year? Because we're going to disagree on this. I can go ahead and tell you.
How many passing attempts? I will say, I don't know, 350, 400.
350. Good Jesus Christ. Are they going to throw it 14 times a game?
You know I'm not good at these math games. Why do you ask me these fucking questions? I give you percentages to keep away from giving you actual numbers.
Yeah.
Because my mind doesn't work that fast.
Average NFL team throws it about 500 times.
Okay.
I think they're going to be below that. They will be, I would say, bottom half of the league in passing attempts.
Maybe.
They're going to run the ball a lot. Mm-hmm. Defensive coaches. We've seen this time and time again.
Right.
I would say best case scenario, the Jets are 9-8.
Okay.
Everything, all gas, catch some breaks. 9-8.
Okay. I'm going to say 7 and 10.
Which is funny because he had them as 10-7 when we picked it against the schedule.
Did I?
Yeah, you did.
I was wrong.
I looked before we did this. Look at the schedule. I'm telling you, look at the schedule.
Yes.
It's one of the easiest schedules in the NFL. I'm just telling you, it's my favorite futures bet of the year. The Jets are at 6 wins in Vegas. Mm-hmm. It's the easiest cinch bet in the history of time. Believe me, you call me a homer all you want to. I don't care.
Okay. I mean, I'm not casting aspersions. If you believe your team is that good, and yeah, you're right. I did have them 10-7.
Mm-hmm. I know you did. Christ. I looked before we did this.
Jesus. I don't know. Okay. Well, maybe 9 is closer.
There you go.
Maybe 9 is closer to the best case scenario.
Yeah. Worst case scenario, Zach's mom barks, Jets don't bite.
Yeah.
That's the fear. My fear is that they're going to you get behind, you ask Zach Wilson to do too much because you're trying to come back. Mm-hmm. The secondary's young and unproven. And is there a path they go 5-12?
Yeah.
I don't really buy that.
I think there could be.
Okay.
I mean, the running game doesn't work. Zach Wilson really struggles. New York is a circus to begin with, and
it's not as much of a circus as you think it is. It's always been kind of a myth. New York sports fans have always laughed at this. The media is intense. Mm-hmm. You have to be kind of a powder puff for it to wilt you. There's just so much of it. There's so many reporters. I mean, good God, Zoom calls with the Jets have 37 reporters on them. Mm-hmm. Like, there's a lot of media. Mm-hmm. You end up on the back page, you get talked about all that shit. At the end of the day, you win, you're still beloved. It's not like they're coming to your house and egging it. I've always thought the New York media circus is a little overblown at this point. It wasn't always, but I think in the last 5 years that's become a little overrated.
Yeah.
The Giants and the Jets have both sucked for 5 years, so.
Yeah.
Now, if they crank up and get better, then yeah, that might you might have the same pressure.
But they're also relentless. The media pressure is relentless. That's the thing.
No, it's just more than what you're used to because we're in the South. Right. We're in the Charlotte media market that is. I mean, I'm not saying something out of turn here. There's no teeth to it. Panthers fans hate David Newton because he speaks the truth from time to time. Because he ain't from here and they don't like it. Mm-hmm. Fact or fiction? Is anything I just said incorrect?
I don't know. I mean, he says some pretty dumb stuff.
He said. I'm not saying he doesn't. I'm saying he does say some dumb shit.
Yeah.
He's also right. I would say more often than he's wrong.
Yeah.
And Panther fans don't like it. They don't like that side of the market. Atlanta's the exact same way. Mm-hmm. That's not me. I'm not being a dick. I'm just saying there's less media. Mm-hmm. When you have, it's a hell of a lot easier for you to be a dick when there's 37 media members than it is when there's 5.
Right, but that's kind of the point to New York media of that everybody is writing something different because they gotta sell, they gotta get their clicks, so the pressure becomes more because you've got so many other entities basically talking shit about you because. it's clickbaity. And in a media age that is driven so much on being different and trending and all of that, you're going to have a lot of pressure on that end. Now,
here's the thing.
Can he live up to it?
I'm just going to level with you. I've pulled for New York sports teams for 30 fucking years. The media pressure, yes, it's been there. It is not what it used to be.
Okay.
Period. If it was, Sam Darnold would have been run out of town 2 years ago. Because as soon as the mono thing came up, he would have been crucified. It was reported like 3 times. It just wasn't that big of a deal.
Right.
At this point, there's kind of an expectation from New York sports fans. Our teams are bad. So yeah, some of the teeth has gone away. I mean, just be real honest with you. How much crucifying did Sam Darnold get?
I think quite a bit.
For what?
Well, I mean,
name the first thing you think of with Sam Darnold.
The ghost thing.
There you go. Name the second thing. I'll wait.
He's awful.
He's not awful.
I know, but that's the way they portray him in the media is that
Not really.
he can't get it done.
Not really. National media does that more than New York does. I'm just saying the New York media thing's overrated. I pulled for these teams for 30 fucking years. You can believe me or not. It's nowhere near what it used to be, and anybody that argues with me is just fucking wrong. This is where every team I pull for is, save my NBA team. Guess what? I spent 15 years pulling for the NBA team in New York. I hate their owner with an undying passion.
Right.
You know, I've watched this. The teeth is going away. First of all, the newspaper industry, nowhere near what it used to be.
No, there's no doubt.
New York Post, that used to be what you were trying to, that's what you were trying to stay out of. Nobody fucking reads it anymore. It doesn't matter. It's all beat writers. It's all Rich Cimini. It's all Robbie Sabo and Manish Mehta. He's gone now, but there are others. That's what it is. You know, and on Twitter, it's a hell of a lot more difficult to be a dick than it used to be. You can say truthful things in print that you say it on Twitter and it turns into a back and forth of bullshit.
Right.
It's just not the same. I don't have a great way of telling you this. When we put this video out, because I'm putting it out in New York, trust me, you're going to see a lot of comments like, he's right.
Yeah.
The media is not what it used to be.
Okay.
And by the way, thank you, Nix, for that. Because you've been such a dog baby for so long that I think it kind of killed the media, in all honesty.
It very well could have, but I still feel like there's a lot of pressure playing in that number one market, and a rookie quarterback is, going to be more susceptible than anyone, I think, to folding to the pressure.
All right, so just put your money where your mouth is.
Okay.
Look at the schedule.
Okay.
What's the worst they could possibly be?
Worst case scenario, you beat Atlanta.
There's one.
Cincinnati.
There's two.
Houston.
There's three.
Jacksonville.
There's four. You missed one.
Philadelphia.
There's five.
There's five. And that very well could be your worst case scenario.
5-12.
Yeah.
You went 2-14 last year. Now, your worst case scenario is 5-12. And that assumes that you only beat the teams that you should 100% beat, and you beat no one else. I don't buy that. I don't. There's 5 no doubt wins. Your win-to-loss total is 6 in Vegas. You're telling me you're not going to get a game? Bullshit.
Right.
I think worst case scenario is about 7-10. I think their range of outcomes is 7-10, 8-9, 9-8. I don't think they can be any better. I don't think they can be worse.
I could very well see them being on that 5-win side of things, but still, that's not going to be enough, in my opinion, to make you one of the 4 worst teams in the NFL. Because I think they're, like you said, there are no doubt 5 teams on this list that they should beat with no problem. And that's even worst case scenario, in my opinion. Now, obviously, Cincinnati fans will rank on that.
We're going to beat you, no doubt. And so will Jacksonville Jaguars fans. And Philadelphia fans.
Everybody's crazy about their team.
Everybody's going 17.
I think we have had a growing moment here. We did best case scenario for the New York Jets, and Jeremy didn't go fucking crazy and said they're going to make the playoffs.
I never go crazy.
I think we've...
I never go crazy. Ever. I'm as rational about I've watched the team for 30 years.
Right.
They've shit in my lap 22 of those times. I think I'm pretty rational. What'd you think I thought that I was going to say? They're going to go 13-4. That's stupid.
What's the next letdown for the New York Jets on the way? That's the question now. Because they let you down last year by winning And now this year,
and I'll be honest with you, I'm fine with it.
Do you not get into that position though? I mean, because I always am about my team. What's the next spot they're going to let me down?
No, I mean, and maybe this is delusional, and you can call me a homer. I don't give a shit. I never bought Adam Gase. Mm-hmm. I never really bought Herman Edwards. Mm-hmm. Rex Ryan was a headache. I liked him. I still like him. But he brought a lot of unnecessary pressure on himself. Let's be really honest. Rob Salah is pretty boring. Mm-hmm. He's a pretty boring dude. Just knows his football. Guys like him. There's a lot of positivity around the organization. It's hard for me to not feel good about where we're headed.
He's a boring media character, is that what you're saying?
No,
because I don't think he's a boring coach.
No, he's not at all.
Okay, he's pretty fiery.
There's no drama around him. He didn't show up to the press conference with his eyes going all over the fucking place like a googly-eyed frog.
Right.
You know, he doesn't have a foot fetish, and he doesn't scream, "You play to win the game."
We don't know that.
If he does, we don't know about it. Let me put it that way.
Everybody's got
none of those
weirdness.
things. He didn't do any of that shit. Mm-hmm. So it's, you know, for me, it's growth. I like where the team's headed, and it's hard to not be, you know, pretty positive going into 2021 and beyond.
As I feel like you should be, pretty positive about what's going on with the New York Jets. Just don't think it's not going to be the miracle turnaround that I think some are really yearning for.
Well, there's maybe yearning for, nobody buys it. I mean, they're 20.
That's what I'm saying.
They're 27th or worse in every power ranking I've seen. Mm-hmm. I think some of that's kind of stupid. If you have Jacksonville ahead of them, you're an idiot. That's as nice about that as I can be.
Right.
Urban Meyer's running his rookie running back as a slot guy and playing the chaplain from Florida at tight end. Okay, then.